Continuing with biblical prosperity, Proverbs chapter 9, which says wisdom. Wisdom calleth in the streets. Wisdom's like, come, hear me, hear me. This is all poetic language, which the Bible is so famous for, especially the Old Testament. This is Hebraic thinking. This is how the Hebrews of those days wrote in poetry and liken everything to some solid and concrete object, like wisdom. The Greek thought would say wisdom, be wise, whatever that means. But the Hebraic mind will personify wisdom. It's like a person calling out on the streets, hear me. Wisdom calls from the streets and said, hear me. I was with God at the beginning when he made this earth. It's the image, this concrete image is all there if we would sit down to listen and read it. And we must do it. We must do it because this world is so anti-Christ. And the first thing they'll do is to speak against Christians. The first thing they'll say, like they're so religious. These are what Proverbs 9 says, these are the scorner, the wicked man, the scornful, the scoffing. What would your Jesus do? It's the common narrative today, and we, surely, God, Jesus will be compassionate kind of thing. No, Jesus is God, and he is, though compassionate, is holy and just. And he will not tolerate sin. Let's put it this way. First of all, we must know who God is. And without knowing God, we cannot answer our naysayers. We cannot answer the scoffers. They will use it against you. So continuing with Proverbs 9, when we talk about wisdom, a house built on wisdom will stand. It will not be shaken. The wisdom of God. Wisdom said, I was with God in the beginning. Understand that I am what they call old world creationist. Young world creationist means this world was created in 24 hours. Boom, 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 boom. God wave a magic wand and there be, and there it is. But old earth means that's intelligent design. There's time and thought and wisdom given to that design to fashion this world to be what it is today in order to sustain God's final and greatest handiwork, mankind, you and I. We cannot look out into the sky and take anything for granted. The air that we breathe wasn't like this at the beginning. It took a while to make it like this. There was nothing. It was a watery world. Water covers the earth at the beginning. And God said, there was, I think the Hebrew word is tohu vavohu, the void. It was void and formless. And it was chaos. And over time, it became what it is today. The scientific record says the earth is 13.5 billion years old. And I believe that because it took a while. It took creative and intelligent design, and wisdom was there right at the beginning. And God has embedded into everything his wisdom. So if you understand his wisdom, even if you know just a little bit, you will be able to work with it. And therefore, it will bring to you what you hope for in this life. And then finally, in Proverbs 9, verse 17 and 18, always is warns against stupidity. Wisdom means that you're moral. Stolen waters are sweet. Bread eaten in secret is pleasant. What is that? That if we sneak around, like adultery or in pornography or anything wicked, it's like, it's sweet at the start, right? Oh, he loves me not kind of thing. But we do not know that the dead are there and that her guests are in the depths of hell. Her guests, her guests. Again, it personifies evil as a woman, as an adulterous woman, that if you indulge in her, maybe you're very sweet at the start, but then death, hell is with her, that you will surely go to hell. And today, being very political, I listened to 2 hours of political rhetoric first before doing this. And they were talking about the Pope and the Vatican. The Pope and China are in an alliance. And the Pope has allowed the Chinese Communist Party to appoint bishops, Catholic bishops in China. There's only one religion, one approved Christian religion, and that's the Communist Chinese approved Catholic Church. And then here again, the Pope is quoted as says, Christians don't build walls, which is nonsense. I've already done the Song of the Vineyard in Isaiah, where God said, I will build a vineyard, I'll put a wall around it. So walls are being built. Let's put it this way, physical and spiritual. We build a wall around our minds too, to protect us from evil, from Satan, from the evil forces. And this wall really is God, the Word of God, the Spirit of God that is around our minds. There must be a wall around it, for sure. And today's lesson will be a mishmash of things. So the thing is, Jesus said, you don't have to worry. If you know the Word of God, no one will gainsay against you. That means the Spirit will give you that kind of understanding and that kind of rhetoric that you will be able to answer to your enemies. They will not get the better of you. It's oftentimes we don't know what to say because we don't know the Word of God. And Jesus said, you are wrong. Luke 22, I think it is. You do not know the Word of God. You do not know the power of God. See, the Word of God is to empower you, to speak against your enemies, is to guide you, to protect you, to build a wall around your mind and your spirit. And also in doing, David Paulson, that's why I read to be able to answer people. And we have this question being thrown around about predestination. Definitely, there are many verses in the Bible that sounds like God is for predestination, but nothing is further from the truth. Really and truly, if we really understand the context, our problem is we do not, because it's not taught in our church. Our pastors usually, I know mine is, went to school 50 years ago, and whatever was taught then, he carried it on through his life and read very mind-numbing things today and encourages us to read those mind-numbing things that, that's not deep enough. This time in our lives, we need deeper thought. And thank God that I don't really, we're in opposition there, and that I, on my own, you have to be diligent, is looking for other things. And here Apostle goes through the whole Bible and explain the context of each book. So now I'm up to Exodus, where it talks about the plagues. There are 10 plagues, we know that. First of all, the first few plagues was against nature, the river Nile, against the god of the Nile. Second is against animals, the creatures of the earth. And thirdly is against person, Pharaoh himself. And the only verse we seem to remember is God hardened the heart of Pharaoh. It's like, look, Pharaoh didn't have any choice. God hardened his heart. No. According to Paulson, if we read the first few plagues, it was Pharaoh's heart that was hardened. First plague, second plague, third plague, up to the seventh. Each time he says, Pharaoh's heart was hardened. It's only the last 3 that God hardened his heart. It's like, I give up. You will not change anyway. So now I will harden your heart and you will see my wrath, my judgment. See? So there's no such thing as predestination. God gives us 1 chance, 2 chances, 3, and so on, until finally he hardens your heart. So today, when you hear him knock, today, when be curious, investigate, and say, Lord, reveal yourself to me so I can believe, right? Right. And he will answer. See, we do not dare ask that question because we know he will answer it. He will take you seriously and you will be changed. It's the matter of, do you want to be changed? Do you want to soften your heart so that when you hear Jesus knocking on the door of your heart, you will open it and say, come in and sup with me and teach me about you so that I too may believe. And in believing and in reading the Word of God, heap in our lives that wisdom that will bring about the prosperity and the joy. Not that we will not go through the vagaries of life, like disease, failure, and stuff. I've been through all of them. A broken marriage, walking out, being left with nothing. All that I've worked for, I've walked away from. A job loss, I've been fired. Most people after firing will kill themselves, but here am I. Disease, yeah. I'm living with. I had surgery for breast cancer. I've death in my family, the loss of my beloved father, and then my mother recently. And here am I, praising God, worshiping him, and reading his word and clinging on closer to him than ever. And in every situation, he never left me. The times I got into trouble was when I left him. I agree totally that the job loss and firing was my fault. I got in trouble with the law, pharmacy law. It was a devastation. But I got over it. I retired, and with whatever little money I've left, have built another life for myself, which I'm totally at peace with. It's given me time and energy to do this, and which I absolutely love. And if nobody learns from it, I am the one still learning. And I hope this has helped you.